Hello class, this is Mr. Broussard and I'm sending this video for the fourth week of our Composition 1 course. Obviously this video is later than usual, even usual considering my health issues because we were officially off for the last 2 days. The campus was completely closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. It was open for the first until noon on Monday, and then was technically made virtual only for Monday afternoon before they finally just went ahead and made everything closed. I was not here at all on Monday because unfortunately I had a relapse with my fever, and I officially found out I do have a virus, but I don't know what virus it is, and they still haven't confirmed any of that yet. So I'll have more blood work. This is why this is here, and more tests that I'm gonna have run on me. So just keeping you up to date as far as that's concerned. I had a relapse this weekend, and so did nothing on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, and then felt almost all right Tuesday, but of course storms came, so I used that time to rest, and then got my blood work done yesterday and found out results yesterday and today. So due to all of the things that we've been dealing with, both me personally and with the storm, and I've already moved these things over, I have expanded the boxes that were due this week. I've now expanded beyond. That includes both the journals, and both classes have the same assignment. So again, I'm doing this one video for two classes. Both classes, your journals 2, and both classes, your example essays. The boxes have now been reopened to where all assignments are due September the 21st at 2:59 a.m. 2:59 a.m. means early morning. So again, let's not lie to ourselves and say we have all day Monday to get it done. You don't. In fact, at 2:59 a.m., which means morning, it shuts you off and you won't be able to turn it in. And considering I'm already giving you this expansion, you're not going to get another one. So let's just say make sure these assignments are done and turned in no later than Sunday night. A lot of you already turned it in, good for y'all. A lot of you couldn't get it in but got it done, and it kind of let me know, hey, we're having issues because of obviously the hurricane causing issues with the power and the internet and everything else. More than understandable with that. So hopefully with all of you, you just have to turn the thing in and then you're good to go. But if you happen to be one of those that haven't done it for some reason, you do have until, let's just say, Sunday to get it done. You have until Sunday, and Sunday night before you go to bed that night, you need to have it turned in to the proper Dropbox. Again, I'm looking right here. One journal has 10, the example essay has 13, another journal has all but one of you, I do believe, turned in 17, and then another one, the example essay that falls with it, has 10. So most of you have turned it in, good for you. If you turned it in and you just basically rushed to throw something, put it in because it was due, or you felt like it was due, and I will give you the opportunity to turn in a new assignment in lieu of what is already in the box. Now, if it's anything that's today or tomorrow, before 11 o'clock tomorrow, if you let me know you want me to delete it out of the box itself with what you've already turned in, I will go ahead and do that for you. If it's after 11 tomorrow, there's a very good chance I'm not going to be able to do that before it's due. But in case of that, what you need to do then is turn it in as attachment in the same box in which you turn the assignment. You won't be able to download it, but you can hit the conversation box, the comments box, and there'll be a little little pin icon that you can click on, and it'll allow you to attach the file to that. And as long as you don't make wholesale changes to the whole of the composition, I'll be fine with that. Now, if you totally change the topic you've written about, then I'll have a problem, because then everything new that turns in has to go through plagiarism detection and therefore has to be downloaded as a file. But if all you change were minimal things, I'm perfectly fine with that, because it's just, I don't want you thinking this is a way around getting around plagiarism detection, because then it raises my brain to the point to where I'm like, okay, this person's trying to be shady. And if you make me think that, trust me, I'll probably find it. So the box is already open, but if you've already turned a file, you won't be able to turn another file. Unless you ask me to delete it out of the old file, I can do that. But if I'm unable to do it in time, just go ahead and attach it to the comments box as an attachment. Don't copy and paste in the comments box. I won't read it. As an actual attachment, the file itself as an attachment is also not grand changes to the assignment itself. And the reason I want to say that is this. I haven't been able to grade Journal 1 yet, simply because I've been sick and with the storm and everything. But I have already noticed some things, and I maybe didn't note this as much on the prior videos, simply because I was just trying to get a video out before my brain turned off. But there are some things that I've noticed, and I won't count against it when it comes to the first journal, but I need you to correct these things for any and all future work you do this in this class. And if you can, correct it even in an assignment that's already turned in. One big thing I have to note. When it comes to the title of your compositions, the last thing you want to do is, if given an assignment to where there's that broad topic, like in your journals, and I gave you the broad topic of water, the last thing you want to do is title that journal water. Who wants to read something that's about just as water? You've given that reader no direction whatsoever. Actually, I say that's the worst you can do. It's not the worst you can do. There are a couple things that are even worse than that. Bad is titling it water. Worse is titling it Journal Entry 1. You've given your reader zero things. In fact, not only have you given your reader zero knowledge or advanced knowledge through your title of what it is they're going to read, you've told them this is going to be academic and therefore boring. Worse would be giving it that title of an academic title, Journal Entry 1, example essay. If you titled your example essay, who wants to read that? I don't want to read that, and I'm paid to read example essays. So that just tells me this is going to be boring. Worse than even that is titling it both. When I told students not to do either thing, and they do both, and they title Journal Entry 1 -water, or example, or something like that. Or example essay, and then they give an extremely boring, broad title on the other end of it. That's even worse than just calling it example essay or Journal Entry 1, and which is itself worse than water or fear or something like that. Speaking of which, I want to hit this off the pass. I don't want any famous person quotes in any compositions. That's boring high school writing, and I hate it. Can't stress that enough. And I always say it in particular before the fear one, because I will always get the only thing without the fear is fear itself, Franklin Roosevelt. I will put a zero on that out of pure principle if you put that quote in particular. But any quote. The famous person quote is a cheap high school writing device that needs to stay in high school. Quite frankly, it never really needed to be done in high school either. It's awful, and I get angry at your English teachers from high school whenever I see it. There's a lot of cheap high school writing devices that have to go away, many of which I may have seen here and there. And I haven't been able to go over these things clear because my brain hasn't been clear. So while somewhat clear today, I want to go over a few of them. Like, you need to avoid the words, in my opinion, or I believe, or I think, or in this essay I will. In my opinion, well, it better be your opinion, it's your essay. I think, well, they what you think, it's your journal. In this essay I will, or in this journal I will, but that's needless fluff, intro fluff, bullshit. Get that out. And now to the in conclusion, well, it better be in conclusion, it's a concluding paragraph. These are all cheap high school writing devices to fluff up papers to either give you more space if you're asked to write a so many page essay, or to add in words if you're asked, like in our class, a so many word essay or journal. Journals are more about space, if you've noticed. My space requirements, yes, at least 2 strong paragraphs, at least 5 strong sentences each, and at least get to the bottom of page 1. Well, you add that fluff to move it along a little bit, to move it further down the page, to get that last page, that line of the last page, and hope that's enough. No, it won't be. And the same thing with the word count on the essays. Trust me, you will lose more points by having that fluff in there than you would have by being a couple words shy of the 700 or 900 or 1100 or 1300 words that you're asked to. And the example essay, 700 words. So it would be better to be at 696 words, where you lose a point, whereas to have that needless fluff in there and you're losing anywhere between 4 or 8 points, basically, because it can weaken the overall essay, weakening the topic, and therefore you lose points at that level of the rubric. And it's even worse. Doing any and all these things is bad enough to be in any part of the essay. It's worse to be in the thesis or concluding paragraph, because then you lose double points. You lose 4 for weakening the overall essay, and then 4 for weakening the thesis when you do that. So make sure you don't do that. Don't have any of those things. In my opinions, I think, I believe, it is assumed by the very nature of what you're writing that it is your opinion, that you think it is what you believe. And therefore, by stating it again, it's redundant. And you end up with a reader who's wondering, are you trying to convince me, the reader, or are you trying to convince yourself? And that's why you should never do that. You need to be authoritative. When you write any thesis statement, In particular, you need to be authoritative throughout the entire composition, but in particular in a thesis statement, you need to be authoritative as possible. You don't write, in my opinion, the walls in this room are white. I believe the walls in this room are white, or I think the walls in this room are white. You write, the walls in this room are white. That's it. You are the ultimate authority in what those color of the walls are. And when you say I believe, I think, in my opinion, wishy-washy language, and you tend to make your audience not sure that you believe what you're saying. And if you're starting off that way, that's going to continue throughout the whole of your essay, and that is not what you want your audience thinking. So make sure none of that is there. So that's another one of those things. No famous person quote in the thesis paragraph. In fact, the only famous person quote you should ever maybe have is in the conclusion. And if that ever gets to where that's abused, like high school writers have abused it in the thesis paragraph, then it probably should get them going anyways. It may be a rule that they've already made because of that possible abuse. And then the other, just to let you know, is the dry, boring dictionary definition. Well, you shouldn't have a dictionary definition anyways, because the dictionary definition would be to be sourced. And if you have something that should be sourced in there and it isn't sourced, you have violated the academic integrity policy, and it's a 0. And any other violation the rest of the semester will mean a failure of the course. So don't have it anyways, because it's another cheap high school writing device. Webster Dictionary defines blah 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 blah. Who cares? It's boring. It's high school, and it would need to be sourced. And again, there's to be 0 sourced information on any composition in this course, save the argumentative essay, which is why I'm not teaching you how to do APA-style sourcing and citing until the end of the course. I'm not going to teach it because I don't want you getting confused. I don't want you thinking about having source material in any composition whatsoever. Never in a journal, and never in the 3 earlier essays. Only in the last, the 4th one, the argumentative. It'll only be in APA style, and that's why I'm not teaching you APA sourcing citing until the end of the semester. So make sure that you follow that policy, that's rule, and therefore no dry, boring dictionary definition. It's wrong even if it wasn't plagiarism. It's wrong because it's a cheap high school writing device. So I want to make sure that that's all headed off before any of you even think about doing any of those things. And some of you, I haven't really noticed the dry, boring dictionary definition one. I did notice a few just kind of the straight eyeballing. I haven't graded anything yet because unfortunately my brain is not all the way back yet. But it's just eyeballing. I noticed the particular what I noticed was the title, having it titled water, your journal being titled water. Again, I'll let it slide on that one because I didn't let you fully know or beforehand. I might even let it slide in the second one simply because I'm just now getting to you and getting to them, even though I've expanded the box. I can't let it slide on the essay. So if you titled your essay, example essay or illustrative essay, let me know and I'll delete the file. If you don't, you're going to lose. If you do the example or illustrative essay as your title, you're losing 10 points off the top. You basically have to nail the entire rest and perfectly nail it just to hold an A, because you can't get anything better than a 90 at that point. So let me know if you did title it illustrative or example essay, and I'll need to delete that file. Now, even worse than any of that when it comes to title, even worse than saying the journal title was water, worse than saying the journal title was Journal Entry 1 would be not having a title at all. If you don't have a title at all, that's 20 points off the top, meaning you'd have to nail everything else just to earn the B. So if any of these are issues, let me know so I can delete the old file. Or if you don't let me know by about 11 o'clock tomorrow, turn in the new file as an attachment in the comments box. I will then read that, as long as there's not drastic changes between what you have in the box and there, so there's no shenanigans of possible plagiarism, you should be perfectly fine and good to go. So I want to make sure you knew about all those things and how it connected. And again, Sunday night, your journal and your example essay are all due. Because of having to move those, I decided to move your journal, give you an extra 24 hours on next week's journal. So it'll be September the 23rd, 2:59 a.m. So again, early Wednesday morning. So again, don't lie to yourself. Tuesday night. So Tuesday night of next week on the 22nd is when Journal 3 is due. And I will give because I've given this video, I will give no ease when it comes to if you violate any of the things that I've just mentioned. Only one of you's turned it in. I don't think you violated anything, but I have to look at that with more care. So only one of you in one class. The other class, nobody's turned anything in yet, so good. Actually, for once, that's a good thing. You'll do it from scratch, and you'll have all this information before you do it. Now, as far as what you're supposed to do as far as reading for this week is concerned, here's my advice. Get the example essay completely done before you do this reading so there's no confusion on your part. I always get a little worried whenever I have to kind of jump ahead with lessons before I get into a prior assignment that's completely done, because I've had this issue before where students get confused and they start mixing in lessons for the next essay in a prior essay. Now, me personally, my theory on that is you're in college. If you have that problem, that's really on you. But I'm trying to warn you. I'm not going to give ease on it, basically. If you start including elements of the narrative descriptive and include that in an example essay, you'll just lose points, and it's on you. That's your fault. That's your problem. But my advice, finish the example essay first, and then read what is assigned for this week. Chapter 13, Writing a Narrative, the chapter titled Here's What Happened, pages 186 to 228, and Chapter 19, Strategies for Supporting an Argument, description on pages 462 to 464. So one is a full-fledged chapter, the one dealing with the narrative rhetorical mode, and then the descriptive is just about 3 pages in the overall chapter on strategies for supporting the argument. So yes, you'll read about that again when you do get to the argumentative essay, but this gives you the heads up on the 2 parts of basically what you're going to do is have both rhetorical modes, the narrative rhetorical mode and the descriptive rhetorical mode, and you're going to merge that into a new essay. And so that'll be the second of your 2 essays. That'll be at least 900 words, and then you'll have all next week to work on that one, and that is what you'll have as far as next week is concerned. But again, here's the key. Don't get confused. Anything you read this week has nothing to do with the essay that is due on Sunday. That is why I say get the Sunday essay due first and then read it. If you want to wait on the reading assignments until early next week, go ahead and do that. You're not really that behind because you haven't started on the next essay. So my advice is get the example essay done first, and then when you're done with that, then read what is assigned for this week. And again, I've already moved the journal and given you extra 24 hours, so that journal is not due until Tuesday night of next week. And then I expanded the box again for what was due this week, and you have both the journals from this week and the essay that was due this week. I'm giving you till Sunday, so make sure you get done what you need to get done and when you need to get it done. Hope you're all well. Hope the weather didn't do too much damage to you or your loved ones, and hope you don't have the whatever illnesses are going on. Again, I have no confirmation that this is COVID. I do have confirmation that there is a virus in me because the blood work yesterday told me. I can take stabs and guess that it is that, but I don't know for sure. Sometime late next week, I'm going to get the antibody test because it will have been 8 weeks since infection, and they'll let me know if it is what I think it is and what I'm guessing they think it is. But we'll know when we know. Hopefully, I'll know sooner, and hopefully I will be able to get it over sooner. Again, very bad news was this past weekend I did relapse. I'm actually kind of shocked my brain is as good a condition it is now, although you may have noticed as this video is going along, I feel like I'm winding down. So I'm going to wind this video down. Hope that you're all well and that I won't send you another video until next week. Have a good day.